Alright YouTube, so as you've seen in the title of this video, I am yet giving up another vehicle that I absolutely love. Why do I do this to myself? What am I thinking? What is wrong with me? Welcome to today's installment of Mike's Vehicle Vlogs, and I want to thank you so much for joining me today, because today we are indeed going to say goodbye to one of the cars on this channel. And you know, I have my reasons behind this, I guess. This is something that I've actually just started thinking about. And you know, it's been on my mind for a little while, a few weeks now. And I just kind of decided to do it. It's heartbreaking, but at the same time, I'm excited as always because I'm getting something new and I'm getting something different. Something that I really never even thought about having until now, basically. I made a video not that long ago that debuted in January, I think, at this point. These videos have been recorded for so long, and I honestly have not done a whole lot of car vlogging for a while, so I have to really think of when all these other videos debuted, because throughout December and January I was like banging videos out like crazy. But I want to say it did air in either January or early February, but we're in March now, and who knows when this video is going to air. But I did a video where I ranked all 4 of the vehicles that I currently own, and you know that it's tough to do this, but my number 1 pick out of all the cars that I've owned, that I own now, is the 15 Ford Fusion. And today we're gonna say goodbye to the Fusion. I freaking love this car. I just love this car. This car has been phenomenal, guys. I mean, it took a shot to the front a while ago. This car has not let me down in any way. I have not had to do anything major to this car. We did tires within the last year. We did a battery within, I don't know, within 2 years, I think. That's it. Oil changes. I did a transmission fluid change. Brakes are still good. Got almost the same amount of mileage put into it as what was on the odometer when I bought it. So I bought the car with 34,000 miles ish, somewhere around there. I don't remember the exact number, but it was in like the mid 34,000s, I think, and I'm pretty sure I've driven it for about 34,000 as we speak. And she is still, other than that front bumper having a hole in it, for the most part, she is still in fantastic shape, minus a couple of small dings from shopping carts here and there. It's been a little while since she's had a bath because of the fact that, well, we were under like 18 feet of snow at one point. And now it's raining, which is pretty suiting for this video. And yeah, needs a little bit of a cleaning on the inside as well. Always try to keep these seats clean. No matter how hard I try, it's the fabric and the color, and I knew that those were going to be a problem when I bought this particular car. Oop. But it is what it is. Yeah, there's obviously a lot of stuff I gotta clean out. So, let's start it up. 68,272 miles on the clock currently. Turn down the radio. The chime change that happens every so often. Yep. Yep. What am I doing? You guys are probably wondering, why am I deciding to get rid of my beloved Ford Fusion? Well, okay. I have a few reasons. The first reason is actually, in a way, something that I've never, ever thought of before. And that is more of the investment type scenario. This is a 2015 Ford Fusion S. This is a bare bones Fusion. There is not one piece of optional equipment on this car. And obviously this one at this point in time, 68,000 miles, hole in the bumper. I don't really think too many people are seeking out Ford Fusion S models. And, you know, I have nothing to complain about with this car. This car has everything that, you know, is just convenient to me, convenient enough to me. There's not one piece of equipment on this car that I feel is unnecessary or something that I don't use or I don't need. And, I think a lot of people, you know, when they go for Fusion, the most common model, I believe, is the SE, and that's got a little more options. It's got like more of a colorized display in the cluster, comes with black seats. I mean, the color of these seats, this is only an S fabric. You will not find these exact seats, or at least the fabric and the color, in anything that's not an S. So, but I like the color. I've said that before. I like how I have the black and the gray and even the metallic silver, you know, in all these places. I mean, I really love the way that this interior is set up. But I'm rambling on. Sorry. So, you know, when I bought this car in 2018, I traded in a 2011 Ford Escape XLT, which, again, another vehicle that I loved and I never saw myself getting rid of. Much like I never really saw myself getting rid of this, especially this soon in our relationship. We're at about 3.5 years of ownership. So in late July, we would have been going on 4 years. And yeah, my original intent was to keep this car because I love it so much. But when I bought this car and I traded in my Escape, I did have some negative equity going into this car. I still owed money on the Escape. And after the trade value of the Escape, which really tanked, the trade value on that Escape tanked when I got rid of it. And, you know, this scenario, you know, obviously added a few $1,000s to the bill of sale of this, because compared to what I owed on the Escape and what I got as a trade for it, really didn't cover, obviously, the entire payoff for the Escape. So when I bought this car ended up being more than it was worth because of the Escape. And really, not all that big a deal. I mean, initially, I look at it as, if I can pay it each month, then I don't care, you know? However, you know, with this being the model that it is, and me paying what I have been for this model, you know, it does kind of get you thinking once in a while. So last year, I actually had this appraised at the Ford dealership that I worked at. I wanted to see what the value of this car is, and, you know, where it would put me if I wanted to actually trade it in. So I do believe last year, actually it was around the same time last year also, I had it appraised, wanted to see what it was. Don't remember what my mileage was or anything. But anyway, about $7,500 is all I would get for trade on this Fusion. And for the most part, guys, you guys have seen how well I've taken care of it. And yeah, there's a hole in the bumper. Whoop-de-doo. That's really the only cosmetic flaw on the car. The rest of the car really is not bad at all. And I've maintained this car well. And yeah, it's just $7,500 is all I would have gotten for it. Now, at the time, the payoff of this car was a lot higher, obviously, than it is now. So, if I really want to get rid of it, then I'm really upside down with this car. Let's fast forward to, like a week ago. I had this car reappraised because now all of a sudden the car market is, weird. And people are paying for cars, you're getting trades and stuff. Like, nobody has cars on the lots. That's just it. New cars are still very hard to come by. So dealerships are relying on all these used cars to keep afloat. And this car appraised $10,000. They're offering me $10,000 for this Fusion. And I'm just going to say, where it sits right now, that is enough to pay the remaining balance that I owe on this car. And then there's still hundreds of dollars that can go towards something else. So $10,000 is, and that's with the hole in the bumper. I got offered 10 grand for this car. And, it really got me thinking it may be the best thing to do is to get rid of it now while it's still kind of ahead of the value. That's where the value is. I mean, I think the Kelley Blue Book on this thing now is anywhere from $9,000 to $12,000, and that's without a hole in the bumper. And yeah, so $10,000 is not bad. It pays the car off, and I have a few hundred dollars to add to something else. So yeah, it really got me thinking, and it may be the best thing to do. It's like actually getting ahead. It gets rid of the negative equity, and I get to start fresh with something else. All of the, old debt's gone. The negative equity, gone. And get something new. Something newer. Not brand new, obviously. And number two, I know that first reason was like a million words long, but another reason is, maybe I should get rid of this while I'm ahead with it in general. This has so far been the best car that I have ever owned. The Escape had the title, but obviously we surpassed the ownership of the Escape, and this has gone longer with no issues. So this car is absolutely phenomenal, and I love this car, and it probably would be best if we get rid of it now, because I don't want to end up hating this car. I know it sounds kind of weird, but it's like, all good things need to come to an end at some point. And I don't know. I maybe really should just get rid of this now before we have any real issues. I know we're on the road now, and it's starting to get dark, and I'm sorry. I would have filmed it earlier, but of course, work and the fact that the rain is also making it, darker than it should be at this time of day. But yeah, it's appropriate, I guess, for the situation. I fell in love with this car for many reasons, not just particularly because of the features that this S model has and the fact that it really has no optional equipment and it's perfect, to me anyway. But I've always loved how these Fusions rode and drove, and they're just so comfortable. It's something that I've wanted to actually have for a long time, and this one came along and I was finally able to swipe it up, and I have no regrets buying this car at all. No regrets. The only regret that I think I have with this car is parking behind the stupid pickup truck at the junkyard the day that they backed into my hitch when they were leaving, or backed into my bumper with their hitch when they were leaving the junkyard. That's probably the only regret that I have with this car. That's really it. But she just drives so well, and it's so quiet, and it's been a lot smoother with the new tires, even though, you know, with the old tires, it really wasn't even all that bad of a ride still. I mean, the tires that were on this car were the original Goodyears. So we put some Uniroyal Tiger Paws on it, and that's what she's had ever since. And it's been a pretty decent tire, you know. Car handles amazingly. It's you know, very responsive. It's a larger car, so you know, for it being such a you know, the car that it is, the size that it is, I mean, it will respond quite quickly for its size. And obviously there's a lot of room here, so I can sit in this car comfortably and drive this thing all the time. Even the back seat, you know, there's a lot of room. The new car is actually slightly smaller than this, believe it or not. A part of me kind of wants to downsize a little bit, even though I really honestly have no problem driving the car of this size. This is all tore up. There we go. Yeah, even though I have no problem driving the car of this size, you know, I've been into a car that is slightly smaller. It's a little more sportier, to be honest with you. And strangely enough, I found just about an equal amount of comfort in ride and, you know, just sitting in the car, you know, for a long time. So, I mean, that was another reason. Again, I'm getting a car that I never thought I'd ever own. And as excited as I am to start a new journey again with another vehicle, there are holes everywhere. I did not realize this road was this bad. We're almost there. But anyway, yeah, as excited as I am to kind of get familiar with another car, you know, this car is going to be deeply missed. There is, I guess, technically a third reason, and I did take this into consideration too. But where I work now is actually a little more of a drive, and half of it is through, you know, the city. The other half is highway. The city commute, you know, probably uses up more gas, and then the highway commute probably not so much, obviously, because you're not stopping and going and stopping and going. Throughout the time that I've actually been taking this car to work, I've noticed how much gas that this thing has actually been using. And this is actually a pretty fuel efficient car. Out of the 4 cars, it probably comes in a close second. The Fiesta is obviously probably the ultimate fuel saving car out of all the cars that we have. This one would be second. But you know, it actually uses more gas than I was expecting with where this, my new job is. The new car is actually more of a fuel-saving car. Engine's a little smaller, losing 10 horsepower, but no big deal because the car is actually slightly smaller than this one, but it averages out over 30 miles per gallon, and I'm pretty sure my average on this car is 26. So still not bad, but especially with how gas prices are really skyrocketing lately. Like here in town, gas is $3.60 a gallon, and that's the highest that I think I've seen it, if not ever. It's the highest I've seen it in a long time. But also the fact that, there's two other cars that I drive all the time, and I have to keep gas in them. And granted, I obviously don't use, I don't fill those cars up as much because, I don't drive them all the time. I always have to make sure the main car is always got gas in it. And, I used to be able to get by on not putting gas in this car for like a little over 2 weeks, and it's been definitely needing gas before a 2-week period is up. So it may be time to get something a little smaller, something that has a little more fuel saving capability than what the Fusion has. Now, me getting rid of the car obviously has nothing against Ford. I still love Ford. The new car is not a Ford. I am changing brands yet again. And I don't want to give anything away because, that video is obviously coming next. So you guys are going to see everything in the next video. But yeah, I am still, very sad to let this one go. And I've said it again, if I could, I really would like to keep this and get something else. That's just how my brain works, Little. Alright guys, so it has been 2 days since I filmed the earlier portion of this vlog. And yeah, as you can kind of tell, I was pretty bummed out about deciding to let the Fusion go. In fact, I still am. The Fusion is still here. Oh look, it's Danko. My phone's ringing. Who is it? It's my wife. Hold on 1 second, guys. Alright, sorry about that. So, anyway, yeah, the Fusion is still here. Had to wait, until today to actually finish closing on the new car. So, like I was saying, this whole vlog has kind of had a really bummy feel to it, especially the day before. It was raining and it was getting dark, and I know we did our last, our final rides in, in the Fusion, and I'm not really going to recreate all that stuff because that's just kind of boring. But I did just now, get all my stuff out of the Fusion. I just, cleaned all the garbage out and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not going to wipe everything down. Screw that, They're going to do that when it goes for sale. But, I got all my property out of it, and it just wouldn't seem right, especially for a car that has been such an amazing vehicle over the last 3.5 years. It's been a little more than 3.5, because we're in March now. So, in another few months, we would be at 4 years. So it's been over 3.5 years, since I bought the Fusion. But, it just wouldn't be right for me to not give this car one, last good tour, The tour from the other day, was kind of weak, and, I could just go and remake this entire video, but, I don't want to, because we're just going to capture it the way that it is, I decided the other day to trade in the Fusion, and, I'm still kind of surprised that I said this, and I'm actually still really sad. to see this car go. But you know, that's just how it was the other day. You know, that's my reality. Today, you know, I'm still very sad that I actually made the decision to do this. But I'm also, you know, I'm getting to that point where I'm excited to get the next car in the driveway and to get the next car on the vlog series, to, you know, to show you guys. And it's definitely something that I never thought that I would want to buy. It's definitely something that I'm really surprised that I did buy. And I'm sure once I get to know the new car and once I'm settled in, you know, it's going to be a lot. I'm going to be in a lot more of an enthusiastic mood about all this. But, yeah. Let's go ahead and head outside real quick before it does get dark. And let's take one more good, you know, walk around of the Fusion. Alright, so here she is in all of her glory. Her name was Aria, by the way. I don't know if I ever really threw that out there to you guys, but all of my cars have names. That one I've decided to name Maleficent, just because it looks dark and evil. Jade, I think you guys knew Jade, but the color is kind of what landed her that name. This has been Aria. So yeah, I took the Ford plate off. It's in the house. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I'm probably gonna put on the Fusion, or the Fiesta. Sorry. See if my wife will let me put on the Fiesta. It's you know, the salt and stuff still here. The body of this car really held up pretty nice throughout the 3.5 years. No rust. A little bit of, you know, the corrosion on the hood, but it's an aluminum hood. Took the Fusion plate off. I might give it to my brother. That way he, you know, he can use it. That's pretty much it for the outside, guys. One last good look at the inside. These floor mats have never seen snow with me, by the way. I did make the mistake of forgetting to take them out before I put the winter mats over top of them, so they actually finally got dirty. But look at how nice that is. I mean, other than like the little dirt and stuff, the front mats, I've never had them in the car during snow, during winter. And of course, as I've said before, the seats, yes, they've gotten dirty. I've tried to clean this seat up at least once, but you know what? Just the fabric and the color, it's not a good it's not a good combination, unfortunately. Something at one point dripped or leaked in a bag or something that we had back here. And there's glitter still from all the Christmas gifts from this past Christmas. One of the Christmas bags had glitter all over it. Oops. There we go. I had to replace this light bulb, and that was about 2 months ago, I think. Trunk's all cleaned out. Unfortunately, I had the same crap back here in the side, you know, pretty much the entire time I've had the car, so it was a good chance to really go through some stuff and throw some stuff out. Spare's still intact, never had to use it. It might have been used at one time, or not, I don't know what that is, but it still has the marks on it, the stripes. It's there. Same thing about the mat on this side. Never seen winter until recently when I forgot to take them out and put the other mats on top of them. Just some straw papers and stuff. Everything's out of there. One thing I'm really gonna freaking miss about this car are these lights. These, like, I'm pretty sure they're LED, but they're bright. I'm gonna miss those because I don't think the new car has LED lights on the ceiling. Got LEDs elsewhere, but not on the ceiling. The good old trusty 2.5 liter. Excellent engine. This engine can possibly outlive, you know, the rest of this car. But yeah, the only other thing with this that I was trying to keep an eye on is the timing cover leak, which once it gets to about 60-some thousand miles, usually they start leaking. It didn't get that bad. It was starting the whole seeping process, but that was something for me to keep an eye on. You guys know we did the battery like 2 years ago. Actually, that battery was manufactured in October of 20, so it was definitely around there, which sounds right. Air filter was replaced last year. Was it last year? Yeah, last summer, I think. And so was the cabin filter on the inside. It's got about 1,500 miles, I think, to the next oil change. Yep. So in the beginning of the next video, I'll probably have all of the final statistics with the total amount of mileage and fuel usage and all that stuff when I get this car to the dealership for, you know, its final goodbye. Yeah, I can't stress it enough, guys. You guys probably think I'm a liar, but I really did have all of the intentions on keeping this car a lot longer till, you know, it was paid off. I even thought about maybe keeping it and using it as, like, you know, another project. Maybe actually doing some modifications to it, like blacking out the grille or putting some new wheels on it or something. I mean, I really thought about, you know, really keeping this car and doing something with it. But, you know, there's just too many pros right now in my life to upgrade to something else. You know, the trade-in value of this car, the fuel economy of the new car. The new car is a little smaller, so more room in the driveway. There's just a lot. And I'll explain more of that in the next video when the new car is actually here. And I can show you guys that tour also. But yeah, I mean, I literally made a list of pros and cons. And the pros really outweighed everything for me to decide to get rid of this now while I can. So, that's it. That's all there is to it. And we'll go over that in the next vlog, but that was it. I mean, I just can't stress it enough, guys. This car was amazing. And I can only hope that everybody who has had Fusions has had as much luck with their car as I have. This car has been a blessing. Amazing. Best car ever so far. And I would honestly expect the next car to beat that. And you'll see why when we get to the next video. But yeah. So this is going to be it, guys. This is the end of the line for the Fusion. For real this time. I'm not making another segment. And it's cold out here. So, yeah, great car. And I'm really going to miss it. I'm going to miss it a lot. Actually, it's going to take me a while to really get over this. But it's going to be for the better. So, that's the end of it, guys. if you enjoyed this vlog and if you're excited to see what's next, if you've loved the Fusion content or the Fusion in general, if you think I'm making a big mistake, I don't care. You know, give your thumbs up, leave your comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And also don't forget to check out the Teespring store as well. I will see you guys next time in the next vlog with another car in the driveway, or maybe somewhere else. I don't know. I don't know if I want to film it in the driveway. We might go somewhere else and film, you know, some good shots. But I'll see you guys next time, regardless. Thanks for watching, and take care.